listening to all of you, I think, okay, geothermal is like the little engine that could. It's just kind of really good and solid. So we need to take advantage of this moment in time, this critical juncture, this tipping point, whatever it is that you want to call it. I've got a whole bunch of questions here, so let's get going. I want to start first about what may be happening in the research space at DOE and within our national labs with regards to low temperature geothermal. We've talked about Chena Hot Springs there. I can't remember whether it's 165. It's 165 degrees. This is not hot. And everybody said you can't do it with low temperature geothermal, and what Bernie Carl and the others at Chena are doing is demonstrating what you can do with low temperature geothermal. And as we think about the technologies that are in place to find that national heat exchanger that somebody used the terminology here, to find just that hottest of hot water, we're realizing that it doesn't have to be as hot as we may have in certain other areas. Can either one of you share with me to what extent we're doing the research in our national labs or within the department on low temperature energy systems?
I'll start and then hand it off. How's that?
Okay.
So low temperature is a very important area of research for us, just because so much of the country has low temperature geothermal resources. All of the eastern United States is essentially low temperature geothermal resources.
So if he wants to put in his Blue Lagoon, he's probably going to have a more lower temperature than you might have otherwhere, like in Nevada. Correct.
Than the West, where you have much warmer geothermal resources. So one of the most important things is improving the science of heat exchange, and that is both in the earth itself, but also in once that water comes to the surface, to make sure that is efficient as possible, just because the difference in temperature is not as great. And also, one of the opportunities for low temperature heat is for use as a thermal storage, as in to add heat during periods of low electricity rates, and then to be able to withdraw that heat to help geothermal have new opportunities in a world where we need more flexibility on the electric grid. So those and most importantly, we need to advance enhanced geothermal systems to do a better job of adding fractures, and also to understand in the areas where we don't have enough fluid, how we do a better job.
And you're doing that R&D within the department there?
Yes.
And Ms. Young?
Yes, and I think when you talk about power conversion, certainly the greater temperature differences have a bigger impact, and so that's why it's working so well in Alaska. And I think even in other places in the U.S., you don't need a lot of temperature to be able to use it for direct heating. So for heating homes and schools and offices, for industrial purposes, for paper drying, for laundries, beer brewing, and so it really is something that can be done anywhere. A lot of what we're doing right now in this area is trying to incorporate geothermal into these techno-economic models that model for municipalities, for communities, for campuses, what the potential is for reducing their carbon footprint, to make sure that geothermal is part of the conversation and part of the options that are being considered.
So if Senator King or Senator Manchin on the East Coast, where you don't think about geothermal potential as much, are you doing that kind of mapping that would help them in their states try to advance something that might be viewed as more low temperature?
Yeah, DOE's portfolio actually looks at deep direct use is what they're calling it, and they have a deep direct use portfolio that spans the entire U.S., where they're doing demonstration projects looking at techno-economics for projects throughout the U.S. So that's certainly an area where they're trying to demonstrate the versatility and the geographic availability of this resource. We're also, as we mentioned, the cost of drilling is applicable regardless of the temperature.
Right.
And so lowering the cost of drilling certainly would help benefit these low temperature resources as well.
Yeah, we saw that with one of our projects in Alaska, where many years, lots of money, and they were disappointed with the temperature.